You are supposedly live.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
I am Tara, and this is my mom, Jill. Today we're talking about inflation 2021, how to buy Christmas presents. This probably isn't the video that you think it's going to be. It never is. We're just that cool, aren't we?
No, we'll listen to you. We just get waylaid on rabbit trails.
All right, start your rabbit trail, Mother.
I'll start my rabbit trail. Actually, if you guys have any questions about buying Christmas presents, let us know. You know, we'll answer them too. So what did you want to start with?
Well, so I have no idea.
We've had a rough day.
So here's the thing. Everyone's talking about inflation and how they're not going to be able to buy Christmas presents. I had a viewer yesterday send me a link to a video, news article about how a lady works for Walmart and she can't even buy a grocery cart of groceries anymore. And it was just so sad and awful because she made $12 an hour and she just can't do it. And so we were going to talk about how to save on Christmas gifts and in general when you start having
Financial problems.
Inflation hit and you can't pay your bills and that kind of thing. So first of all, what do you do when you can't afford Christmas presents? You were a mother that had 2 teenagers on $500 a month. You were only making $500 a month and you were supporting 3 people. How did you buy Christmas presents?
Well, to start out with, I think I'm probably coming in the back door from what you're saying.
Fine.
But we've got to rethink buying Christmas presents because there's a lot of emotion attached to them. And a lot of times we'll buy presents because we feel we have to. Our kids won't love us if we don't do it. Our friends won't like it as well. They expect so much. I mean, there are families that actually members of the family are worried about buying gifts that they're not going to buy expensive enough gifts because the family members will be upset. You have to, worry about, like, you buy the Secret Santas at work and everybody feels they have to buy.
Oh, we have that question.
What?
So go ahead.
What, on Secret Santas?
Well, sort of. Pat says, how do you feel about buying things to support good causes? I paid $38 for a fruitcake to support a group of monks. And that goes along with the office parties.
Yeah, so you have to stop when things start getting tight. Now, I'm not saying this for everybody, but we're talking about here when things start getting tight. And you have to be reasonable about it, and everything. So you've got to rethink this stuff and not feel, you have to have enough self-confidence and feel good enough about yourself that these gifts aren't tied up in all these emotions of fear that people aren't going to like you. And like I was saying with the Secret Santas at work, I didn't ever join that. We're all drawing names for Secret Santa. And I said, well, no, I can't be part of it. And I had to have enough confidence to be able to say, no, I can't do it, and not worry about what everybody was going to think about me. Oh, why can't you do it? Or even if they would make a comment about it.
Barbara Polly says their Secret Santa was $40 this year.
Exactly. Because Secret Santas are so expensive.
$40.
They weren't that expensive when I was in the office, but they are now. And you don't have to do it. You can just say no and not put your name in and not draw somebody else's name. People don't realize you don't have to do these things. So you're going to have to cut back on that. The same way with the fruitcake, to support other people. I am all for supporting small businesses and charity organizations. But if I don't have the money to support myself, what am I doing trying to support somebody else?
Yep.
If I have to charge my credit card in order to support somebody else, that's not wise, being wise with your money at all, or being a wise steward at all of your money. Now, when I can afford it, I go above and beyond to help support things. Sometimes even when I didn't have a lot, I would still help others. But I never did it if I had to charge, on my credit card or something like that. And so, you've got to eliminate all these things. even like the kids' school stuff. Well, our cheerleading group, we're all bringing gifts for this, or our football team is getting together for a Christmas party, and we need to bring. If your kids are old enough to be in these types of groups and parties, then they need to buy the gifts themselves if they want to be a part of that. They need to be working and paying for their, or saving their own money to pay for these types of things for themselves. And that's just the way it's going to have to be. We're going to have to do a lot of rethinking and readjusting of our mindsets of how to do things. Do we have other questions real quick?
Go ahead. You can keep talking.
I can
Keep talking.
I could keep talking forever. But you know, you've got to get the emotion out of here. You say, but my kids are going to be so embarrassed, you know, at school, or this is going to be so awkward for them. That's one thing you've got to really be careful of, is worrying about what your kids are, you know, if they're going to be upset or, you know, embarrassed or whatever you want to call it. Most kids, if you're honest with them, if you've been parenting right, and the family cares about each other, and you sit down with your kids and say, you know, Mom and Dad, we can't do this year. We have to be more careful with our gifts, and we're going to have to cut way back. You'll be shocked at your kids. They will step up to the plate for you. They really will. The only time they won't do that is if you've really spoiled them and given them everything they ever wanted. And even then, if you've done that, you're still the parent. You're still the one that's having to pay. So, you know, pull up your big girl panties or your big guy pants or what shorts or whatever you have to pull up and say, we're in charge of the money of this family. So we're doing the best we can, and we're going to get you all a gift, but we can't spend $500 to $1,000 for you this year, each on a gift. I mean, the kids understand that. We were going to ask Dave and Jack, but they're not.
That might backfire.
Yeah. But, you know,
Well,
if my grandkids, whenever I go to say, okay, send me a Christmas list, they just automatically know Nan doesn't spend more than $20 or $25, you know, for them for a Christmas present. And they say, okay, we'll try to think of something under $25. They don't think anything about it. They don't love me any less. They did have a grandparent at one time that did give them a lot more expensive things, but they didn't love them any more than they loved me. It's not a matter of, I gave them other things, you know, that maybe the other grandparents couldn't give them. And so you've got to relax in this. Some practical ways is if you've got young children. I'm all over the place here because I don't know where you want to go.
Hold on. Let's back up just a second. So let's talk about, so we know someone who's a cell phone salesperson. And this person had a client come in, and they said they had a kid that was just screaming and flopping on the floor and screaming and screaming and screaming.
The mom was pulling him in through the store door.
And the mom said, I need to get his cell phone fixed today. And they said, well, you have a warranty. We can get it replaced in 24 hours. So if you can come back tomorrow, we can get it all done and do that. She said, no, I need it done now. And this child is literally acting like a 2-year-old, screaming and screaming and screaming.
He needs his phone. He needs his phone. And
he would not be without his phone. And this person said, I would have guessed this kid was 2 or 3 years old, and he was 13. 13 years old. Then they go and transfer all the data onto the new phone. And they said, I was horrified at what was on that child's phone. He said, there are websites called child porn something or another.
For kids.
Specifically porn for kids. And they said it was absolutely grotesque. And this is the kind of thing that parents are giving their kids. And let me tell you, if you're giving your kids those kinds of presents, phones, laptops, all those kinds of things, and they're acting like that, even if they're not that bad, but they're still got issues, you've got way bigger problems than affording Christmas presents.
Yeah.
And you really need to rethink what you're giving your kids, how much you're giving your kids, and why are you giving it to them? Are you giving it to them because they're throwing a fit and you don't want them to be upset?
You don't want to have to deal with it. You just want to give it to them so you don't have to deal with
My
discipline.
kid, I mean, I still am flabbergasted. None of my kids get a cell phone until they're 16. I am still flabbergasted that kindergartners and first graders are coming to school with cell phones, not to mention all the other kids. I mean, it's just absolutely awful. And so I think a part of the problem is we have trained ourselves and them to buy so much
And such expensive things.
that the idea of having a simple Christmas isn't even a concept. People will say, oh yeah, I'm having a simple Christmas. I only spent $500 on each kid. Are you kidding me? I don't spend that much in an entire year for everything I buy for my kids.
I never spent that.
I mean,
For all
okay,
put
maybe
together.
food and shelter, but I don't spend that much on clothes, shoes, and gifts for them. And it's unbelievable.
But if you're spending $40 for a secret, if that's what Secret Santas are going for now, and people are doing $40 for that, I'm not too shocked that they're paying, $500 to $1,000 for a gift.
Yeah.
And you've got to be careful when your kids are young too. I know parents will buy their 5-year-old those fancy cars that you can drive, the little what are those cars, that they can drive themselves up and down the driveway, and that the bigger cars they can sit inside and drive around and everything. What they don't realize, when you give a 5-year-old a present like that, when they're 6 years old, they're going to expect something equally as big, if not better. And you keep progressing up the years, and you're going to have everything out of control as far as what you're doing for Christmas. You need to pace yourself and be more have your gifts more under control. And you can give really nice gifts that the kids love without spending tons of money.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things out there.
By the way, thank you, Tommy. Appreciate it. The problem is, and Alderman Farms, our friends, Tommy and Patty, they said things are tight this year, and I've told my kids they're grown, no gifts this year, only buying for the 2 grandkids. And that's okay.
Yeah. And your family should accept that and be willing to accept that.
And if they don't, you've got some big issues you really need to be seriously working on.
Yeah. Because things are going to get a little bit worse here. And if you don't start working now at this, you're going to have major problems when crisis hits, and everything.
So, okay. So what are some of the things that we can do to actually save money on Christmas gifts? So the typical one is buy ahead. Although I will tell you, I don't agree with that one. It's not that I don't agree with it.
No.
It's I don't do it, and I have a specific reason. But you do the buy ahead thing with the garage sales and all that first.
Well, I all year long take and at garage sales and thrift stores, when I'm looking, I pick up things here and there, all year long. And I don't always get everything during the year, but I find small little things that I know that they would like. And then closer to like November and then I start getting their lists, and I do a little bit more. And what I do is, one thing, if you've got like a 6-month-old grandchild or child, or a year-old grandchild or child, do not be spending lots of money on them yet for Christmas presents. A 6-month-old would love just playing with the empty box, trust me. Or you could buy them a thing of measuring spoons for them to rattle and play with, and they don't know difference. So save your money as long as you can, for the first year or so, and then just slowly start buying stuff. But one thing I do for
well, let me go back just a second. So what do we actually spend on gifts? So kids 2 years old and kids 1 year old and a younger, $5 maybe.
Yeah.
With toys from garage sales, that kind of thing. 1 to 3 year olds, $10 to $15. Toys from the garage sale or thrift store. 4 to 6 or 7, $25, $30. 7, 8, 9, 10, $50, $60. where did I stop? 10. So 11, 12, 13, somewhere around there, $100 maybe. That's 75 to 100. Then as they get to be bigger teenagers, then we'll spend about 100 to 150 depending on what they want. So, I mean, I saw somebody that said that they spent $50 just buying little trinkets. And I was like, okay, well, that's a lot of money to spend on that. And so you don't really need to have a big budget for this stuff. Now, back to this buying early. One thing I don't do now is buy early. Why? Because I discovered a week to 10 days before Christmas, all the stores put everything on clearance and start clearancing everything
they're starting
out.
to clearance.
And that's when the kids start finally giving me a Christmas list.
Uh-huh.
The last 5 years, I haven't totally given up. I just still buy some stuff, as I see
she buys
it.
a few things, yeah.
But I don't just say, make a list and stick with it and only buy before December. Why? When everything starts going on sale in December. So I wouldn't just go hard and fast on that. You've got to be flexible to save money on
and
these
the
things.
kids' tastes, the older they get, seem to change. They change their mind about what they want. Like they maybe just have to have something in April or something. They'll say, I want to have this so bad. And so you buy it for them to give it to them for Christmas. Well, by the time Christmas rolls around, especially if they're younger, they totally forgot about that toy they had to have, type of thing. So then they want something else by then. But I only sometimes I've done a little bit less, but I just usually spend about $20 to $25 on the grandkids and then $35 on my adult kids. After they got married, I only did $35. And I get lots, don't I get lots of gifts for the kids and all kinds of things for them for that amount. And I'm just shocked because that's the amount a lot of people just spend for stocking stuffers, for each person. So, but you can do a lot. Do you want me to go into the list of what we can do with that?
Sure, go for it.
Well, what I do usually is I'm going to start with the teenage boys first.
And everything's not handmade either.
Oh, no.
I don't like that suggestion either. To say that you have to only make handmade items like cookies and... I mean, listen, Dining on a Dime has some great recipes. We have some great gift mixes, great how to make lip balm, bath salts, all those homemade gifts. They're really, really nice, but you've got to get away from the thinking that that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah, because a lot of people can't do homemade things, and you don't have to just do homemade. And another thing, I do quilting and stuff like that. And I know a lot of gals say, well, I'm going to do homemade quilt for them or a homemade throw or whatever. And they'll go out and spend up to $50 for fabric and batting and things like that, for just to make this homemade item. And so you got to be kind of careful on these by the time you buy essential oils and all the different ingredients you need to make stuff and things like that. It can start adding up. But you really, for those of you that don't want to do homemade, you don't have to do homemade. I've got teenage boys. So usually those are like some of the hardest ones to buy for is teenage boys, because you immediately think they need all kinds of electronics, games, things like that. I've only bought one game for one grandson one time, and that was it. Otherwise, I buy all kinds of different things. Don't go look. Let's see. How am I going to say this? Don't wander the store. I know I sound like I'm jumping around here, but I'll work my way back. I find that if you go to boutiques and gift stores and expensive shops in the malls and you wander around trying to get ideas, you got to be careful doing that type of shopping. You're going to want to buy everything in the store because your kids and grandkids would love this and that and the other. Don't wander like that. Get a list and have the amount you're going to spend and what those people want on that list. But the only time I do wander in a store, and that's why I brought the wandering up, is because go to hardware stores, go to the automotive section and camping section of stores like Walmart and places like that, and wander the aisles there for your teenage boys and for guys. One year I had a couple of my boys were just getting their cars, having new cars and everything to drive. They were older and they were getting their cars to drive. And I went and found a little fold up shovel. And in the camping section, and I bought this little fold up shovel. I think it was like $10 is all I spent. And that was going to be almost one of their main presents. And I bought that fold up shovel for them to keep in the trunk of their car for if they got stuck in the snow and things like that, to shovel themselves out. They were so excited over that silly little shovel. They thought that was the coolest thing ever, that the dads even said, well, we would have taken one of those too. The dads wanted one of those fold-up shovels. You'd be surprised at what they get excited over. I bought BJ, Tara's oldest, when he first got his car too. I bought him in the automotive thing. I saw a pair of the fuzzy dice. Remember in the 50s when they used to hang the fuzzy dice on the mirrors and everything? I thought, oh dear, he's going to think Nan is so nerdy and old-fashioned. But I went ahead and bought him a pair of those little fuzzy dice. He loved those things. He put them out in the car first thing, and he loved those things. So what my point is, think of other things besides, electronics all the time for the kids, and you can get some great ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Dave can hear me or not, but
Dave's bedroom door closed.
No. But I got the kids this year that all my older kids that drive in the automotives for $1. There's a little tiny flashlight thing that does the what do you want to call it, where they go off and on, kind of like a flare type light.
Oh yeah.
And they were only $1, and so I got them one of those because I thought that would be cute to stick in with something else. It wasn't a big deal, but they can use it for an emergency in their car. So you can do little things like that, and the kids. Almost every year I buy the boys a box of sugar cubes. If you can imagine, they think that is so cool, and I wrap it up like a present, and they get a box of sugar cubes, and they think that's so great to get that box of sugar cubes. For the girls, what I do for them is I'll buy them little things like a cute little lip gloss or bubble bath or fuzzy socks, or just a whole bunch of little girly things, a little makeup bag, go to the Dollar Tree and get tons of little girly things. And I take them and I individually wrap each one of those things. And I get a shirt box, one of those narrow boxes with the lid on them. And I will take and I'll put pretty tissue paper, and I've got them wrapped in pretty tissue paper with little bows on them. Gals love things that are packaged and wrapped pretty. If you can do the packaging, great. If you can't get an expensive present, do fancy packaging, and it doesn't have to cost either. And then they'll open up their little box, and they're laid out in front of them with all these little tiny packages they get to open up, and they think it's they love it. They mention it all the time to people. They'll say, Nan gets us this cool box with all these things in it every year. So, you think out of the box a little bit.
No, I got that one.
Oh, aren't you funny?
I knew I was waiting for you to say that.
My children can be easily replaced.
So, since you said not homemade things, should I not share all those links?
No, that's fine.
No.
Where are you getting sugar cubes? Somebody wants to.
Go into
sugar aisle.
where they sell the sugar at Walmart or any place like that. And sometimes they have them up on the higher shelf because they're not bought so often, or any grocery store will have them too. But it's different from the regular candy, and they just think that's so cool to have their own personal box of sugar cubes. And Mike, we just mentioned on the homemade items, I love homemade items. They're perfectly fine. What we're talking about is sometimes, people don't always think that that's the only thing you can do, is what we're trying to say. There's lots of other things to do. We're trying to get you to think of different ways to buy gifts and do things than, just always doing the same type of thing that you hear all over the internet and everybody's saying. We tend to get in ruts where everybody is saying this, and we've just kind of follow along with what they're all saying, and there's nothing wrong with what the thing they're talking about. But, when you start just thinking there's no other way to do something is what we're trying to explain.
Yeah. Let's see. Oops, where'd my notes go? Joanne says, did we have a favorite gift as a child or a holiday food? So my favorite holiday food would be fruitcake.
Oh, she loves fruitcake, and she's the only one.
But since I'm gluten-free now, I can't have my fruitcake. So I love fruit. I am one of those little old ladies that will just love it when their kids get them a fruit basket or a.
Oh, she loves.
I love
the
all
little
the little
tiny jelly things, you know, and the
jellies,
little cheese things that
crackers
you can
and
get.
cheeses.
She loves those
Hickory
little.
Farms
the
would
Hickory-
be my favorite place to shop.
Yeah, she
I love all
loves
that stuff.
those.
Summer sausage. I love all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm gluten-free, I haven't found a gluten-free cheesecake, or not cheesecake, but fruitcake. But here's the thing. Don't think it's bad. Somebody said that they got their son, or their son got them, I can't remember, a fruitcake every year for Christmas. Guys, doing something like that is okay if the person actually likes it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if my kids get me a fruit basket every year or a cheese or what, I mean, you know, whatever. I would like that kind of thing. It's consumable and you don't have more stuff and it's something that you appreciate.
Kind of a comfort thing. It's a tradition. It turns into a tradition. That's why I say with the sugar cubes, the boys almost expect me to give them the box of sugar cubes. You know, they like them, and that's just turned into a tradition for us.
Yeah. So is there anything that you, holiday food that you like?
That I like, holiday food? Well, I like it all, but and you guys are going to be surprised. It's not chocolate what I like for my holiday food. I love pecan pie. And
you guys should see what I did to the pecan pie.
Now it was good. It was good. I've never seen a pecan pie look like this before. It was really unique, that's for sure.
Half of this is not quite my fault. I am not one with the new oven. I absolutely hate this new oven. It's from Satan. But I made pies for the first time and they weren't getting brown and they weren't getting brown. I'm like, my goodness, this pie has been in here for 45 minutes. It should be done. So I kept it going, it was like in an hour and probably 30 minutes, like double the amount of time before it finally got browned. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to be candy. Sure enough, we had candied
hard
pecan pie.
Hard candy. And somehow the gook had gone underneath the crust and it baked and kind of hooked together like concrete where you couldn't kind of hardly separate. It was interesting.
Took me 2 days to soak the pie pan.
But I have a blue cheese dip too that I love.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
have we
the
got
blue cheese dip is in Dining on a Dime Volume 2.
Did we put it in there?
We put it in this one, I'm pretty sure.
And it has a little bit more what I consider expensive ingredients. It's for normal people, it's probably okay. But that's why I have it at Christmas every year.
Writing Dining 1, our definition of expensive has changed because we discovered that people don't really care about price and we just want them. Oh, it's not in here. I thought it was.
I thought we had it someplace. It might be on the internet website.
Well, I know we have it on the website.
We've got it on the website, I think.
Blue cheese dip.
Cheese
dip.
Oh,
wait, here. No. We have to write Dining 3 now.
We're going to have to rewrite. But I do love my
expected in
blue
2029
cheese
when
dip.
the supply chain is finally freed.
And I do take, Tara gets me often turtles. You know, they're caramel with the pecans and the chocolate on top of them. So that's my favorite.
All right. And guys, our books are still 35% off right now because it's still pre-ordering. Yes, they were supposed to arrive at our house yesterday. And yes, they are still sitting locked up in Seattle. Don't get me started. I'll end up in jail. It's not pretty. So
you're getting celebrations over Dining 3.
So for those of you who ordered, we sent out an email yesterday. Check your email, but it has been delayed again. It looks like you can thank the governments that they will not make it in time for Christmas. We are super, super sorry, but we still have them on sale so that when they get here, we will ship them right away. If you need a refund because it was a gift, Christmas gift, please feel free to ask for one. We totally understand.
And we appreciate you guys being patient. It means so much to us that, you know, that you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have gotten probably 50 or 60 really nice comments from people saying, don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
we appreciate
And
that,
I haven't
guys.
even gotten one snarky comment. I couldn't believe it. So thank you guys.
You guys are
Totally
super
appreciate
good. Yeah.
Totally appreciate it. No, there's no announcement for Dining 3 right now. Although we should. Actually, I already have it probably halfway done. I just need to finish it. Okay, so let's see. Carol Ann says, my grandfather loved chocolate-covered Queen Anne cherries. Yep, that's Mike's. We get Mike that every year.
And
he
my
loves
daughter-in-law loves them.
Yep.
And
Diane
so
wants to
get them.
know, is Jill making her
I brought a plate full over
gingerbread?
to for the boy. That plate was full
About an hour ago.
this
This plate had probably 15, 20 gingerbread men. I don't know how many did you put on there?
That's about
10, 15. There's the little gingerbread men. For those of you asking, right there. That's the gingerbread men. She makes, she made in Wichita 5 to
I made about
600 dozen. I
made 2,000 to 3,000 cookies.
2,000 to 3,000 cookies.
Depending on the year, yeah.
And somebody was spreading it around the internet that she made $7,000 on these things. I don't know what you guys are smoking, but she didn't make $7,000. It was like $500 or something.
Because I give a lot of them away. And
there's the gingerbread men right there that Mom makes. So
I make
everybody
big
asked
ones too, but
so Jack, the gingerbread man is free for you again.
you can come eat it.
So a lot of people are wondering why you give them sugar cubes. Like, did they eat them directly or what?
They eat them directly, like a piece of candy. Instead of giving like a hard candy or something like that, they'll just take their sugar cube and eat their sugar cube.
Karen! She said I should get a whole bunch of my viewers together and we should all storm the Seattle port together.
Oh, that would be fun.
Actually, I told Mike, I said, what is the address? Where are these books at? He said, I have no idea. I said, I'm going to call him and I want some answers. But we have no idea where they're even at. The shipper knows, but
it isn't us. I've been trying to buy a couch and different pieces of furniture and stuff, and things are getting a little bit scarcer, especially where we're at and everything. So,
ooh, Stephanie, Kansas, and you remember the cherry mash candies? Grandma.
Oh, my mom loves those. I get those for Christmas every year.
Oh, I should look for those.
Meiko says in Japan we give gifts for New Year all month in January. Maybe start a new tradition.
That's a good idea.
Fun. Yeah,
small gifts would be cool.
In Japan, they give gifts all January. They said for the New Year.
You know, speaking of small gifts, over the years, the whole idea of this is to enjoy Christmas. It's to have the joy
Mom,
and the
Christians
fun.
shouldn't celebrate Christmas.
Well, no, that's not true, because God, I just never realized until I started studying this. God really loves celebrations and feasts, and he had almost every time they had a victory or something, the Jews would celebrate and do or do something like that, have some kind of a feast or a special holiday, because God loves us He wants us to have joy, and he wants us to rejoice in things. And what more should we rejoice in? But when Jesus was born,
he wasn't born on Christmas. He wasn't born on December.
It doesn't
25th.
matter. We're celebrating. If the kids celebrated my birthday in October, I don't care, as long as they celebrated it. We celebrate the birth of our children, our grandchildren, and make a big deal, because why? We're excited that they were born into our family. And the thing is, how can we be any less excited and celebrate any less Jesus's birthday? And in the book of Esther, at the very end, when they had victory and they got the decree taken care of that the king had put out and all that type of thing, it says the Lord commanded them to give gifts, to give to the needy, to have a feast and eat, have this big feast of eating and that type of thing, and to send letters to each other, to those that are far away, of thanksgiving and rejoicing. And I always think of Christmas cards, the way we do Christmas cards. And so, we need to celebrate it. And yes, it's Jesus's birthday, but I know, if my daughter and kids get gifts, even though I'm not getting the gift directly, it's still to see them enjoying each other and rejoicing over, being together themselves and giving each other things, that makes my mom's heart feel good, And I think God feels the same way, and Jesus does, whenever we rejoice and we share with each other. Now, you don't need to make it a big deal, but don't go to the other extreme. I know it's commercialized. I know all about the commercialization, and that's what we're talking about. You don't need to spend huge amounts. It should be more of
It's only commercialized if you make it.
I know.
That's your fault.
Yeah, it's not, it's more the fun that you have. And why I say
So
this.
we're not getting any gifts, boys, this year for Christmas.
How do you feel
We're
about
doing
that?
a non-commercialized Christmas. How do you feel about that?
But-
Well, that's how it'd be anyways, because I'm not asking for anything.
You're not
Oh.
asking. Oh, it's
Except for
okay
one
with you.
wheel.
Yeah. But 1 year Tara the point I'm trying to make is it doesn't have to be a mega gift giving fest in order for people to enjoy it. 1 year Tara got all the kids those punch balls. They look like a big thick rubber balloon.
Yeah, you guys know the punch balls.
You know the punch balls. You blow them up, and then they're on a rubber band. You bounce them around like that. She got all the kids one of those punch balls, and here they got all these cool toys, and different things and stuff. They spent the whole day playing with those silly punch balls, and the dads were playing with the punch balls. Everybody was playing with those punch balls. And 1 year, it was for Easter, but it's the same type of gift thing. My son they were remodeling their house, and they had all this PVC pipe and stuff. Leftover scraps and things. He built every member of the family a special marshmallow gun. And for those of you that don't know what a marshmallow gun is, you put a mini marshmallow in these pipes and you blow them at each other and try to shoot each other with these marshmallows. And he designed each one unique. Like, let's see, I think he made my daughter-in-law's, made hers pink or something. And some short ones, some long ones for the boys, just different, adjusted it for each person. They played all day with those silly marshmallow guns that he'd made for them. So it's part of having fun and doing fun stuff together and being together as family. I can see by your face, I'll stop talking.
No.
What?
Thank you, Tanya, for the super chat. We appreciate that.
Oh, thank you, Tanya.
KJ said, no offense, but I look like the Christmas witch of the West.
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's just wearing a black shirt with the black.
Yeah, that is. You do. It does look sort of witchy like.
You have to lean your head forward.
Oh, it's your transition piece from Halloween and Thanksgiving over to Christmas. See.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Transitioning to Christmas.
Earlier, I don't think you said it, but Karen Conroy was wondering about if you have ideas for gifts for seniors who seem to have everything.
Oh,
Ugh.
that is really, really a tough one. One thing.
I don't think they could have heard me say it.
Gifts for seniors.
Gifts for
What's an idea
seniors.
for
What to do gifts for seniors. See, I'm having trouble with my mom, although she wanted really warm pajamas. She asked for thick, warm pajamas. And I think things like that, a throw. I know everybody does throws and stuff, but warm socks and things, they get really cold. And so if you can think through of needs like that, she needed a little electric heater, a small electric heater to set by their feet, something like that. But seniors are much harder to do. You could give them a coupon of some sort and say, I'm going to take you out for lunch, once a week for a month or something like that. They enjoy that. Or just
All right, guys, put more ideas in here. So we've got, Kimberly says photos.
Oh, that's good.
And Sharon thought that it was a Halloween hat too. Rhonda says nice jigsaw puzzles. Meal of the month club. That's pretty good.
That's good.
All kinds of gift cards for eating out, the grocery store, Walmart, blankets, membership to zoos. Let me check YouTube, personal care products, throw warm socks.
Well, I was trying to make it Stand up like a hat.
What do I look like? Assortments of greeting cards and postage stamps, fuzzy socks, slippers.
A coupon to take them shopping to the store. You know, it's hard for them to get out and get around. So say, I'm going to take you once a week
Mittens
to the store or something like
The
that.
problem is, like people with my grandma, we would buy her new stuff, and she wouldn't use
She
it.
wouldn't use it. I know.
Home baking, she's not eating anything anymore, but
Yeah.
thank you.
A little better.
I have no idea. I
It's
can't see
standing
it
up
yet.
now. It was kind of flat.
They like useful things to clean their house. Ben Beverly says Ben Gay.
Yeah, that's a
Oops,
good
where'd it no, that wasn't Beverly. Hold on, where'd it go? Oh, Sharon. Ben Gay, Vicks, fiber pills.
But make sure they have a clock, an alarm clock or clock by their bed that has big, large letters on it. You
Yeah.
know, something like that would be really good for them.
Yeah. Was Christmas adopted from pagan origins? Yes.
Yeah.
So supposedly the theory is, well, Mike says no, I say yes. Supposedly the theory is that there was a pagan holiday and Christians started this to counter the holiday. But here's the thing. There are lots of things that could be gone on a pagan holiday. If you're not celebrating it as a pagan holiday, then stop worrying about it and stop criticizing. No, I'm not saying you are, but we get a lot of comments from Christians saying, how dare we celebrate Christmas because it's a pagan holiday. I'm sorry. That's just a bunch of, that's just Satan. That is just Satan.
You know,
Well-
I do. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Well, Christmas is not a pagan holiday,
No.
but way back in, like, I don't know, 1,000 years ago, they decided to celebrate it on a day which was also the day of some pagan holiday in order to try to take over the day.
Yes.
as a
So
Christian
no,
holiday.
it's not a pagan holiday, but yes, it was started from a pagan holiday to counteract the pagan holiday. So the Christians had their celebration and they weren't celebrating the pagan holiday. And I see absolutely nothing wrong
Well,
with
the
that.
thing
So-
is, I've studied a lot of history and archaeology things and stuff like that. You know, there's almost nothing that we own or that we do that hasn't come down, you know, traditions and types of things come down from pagans years and years ago. Before, you have to realize at one point in time, there were no Christians. It wasn't until Christ came, you know, that we actually, so there was thousands of years before that, centuries before that, that people were doing things. And we have a lot of things that we have got from our ancestors. Now, if we're not doing, like Tara said, I'm not worshiping a Christmas tree because it belongs to the God of so-and-so. I think it's a pretty tree. All these things are what you do in your
hold
heart.
on. Wait,
God,
okay. Whoops. Okay. Now, point again.
oh, at the Christmas tree so they can see the Christmas tree. But you know, God looks at our heart. He really does. And he knows that I love my Christmas tree because it's got pretty ornaments on it and I love the pretty lights. That's all a Christmas tree means to me. God knows that. I know that. And everybody that knows me knows that. Where the pagan stuff comes in, I don't know. I don't even care. It's just, I like doing it. So you got to be really careful digging back. Do you know a birthday cake was a pagan thing? It came from one of the moon goddess or somebody that they would make it in the shape of the moon. And that's why they celebrated. So are we supposed to get rid of all birthday cakes? I don't think so. I mean, my kids would rebel and my grandkids if they didn't have a special birthday cake. Now, a birthday cake is celebrating the child's life or the person's life. So, you know, should we stop doing that? I could just keep going down the list of all kinds of things that we would need to stop doing. And you can't do that.
So you're not supposed to have joy in your life? I mean, you can't just celebrate something just to celebrate it? I mean, I don't know. Don't get me started. Sorry.
Well, you know, what happens is you become legalistic and about a lot of this stuff. And when you become legalistic about something, God hates legalism and being legalistic much worse than he does like us having a Christmas tree. Jesus only got angry, really angry at the Pharisees because they were about the ultimate in being legalistic. You need to do this and you got to do this and be careful. You shouldn't be doing this because this is this. And Jesus got very angry at them, because they were so legalistic. And you got to be real careful when you start saying you can't do this and you can't do that and can't do that. There's certain things, of course, we're not supposed to sin, and we have certain things in the Bible that we need to follow. And that is really wrong and very dangerous, and you have to be careful. But, I know a lot of people got upset because I have to do yoga stretches on the back of my leg for my backs of my legs for neuropathy. I'm not worshiping anything. I'm not meditating. I'm stretching the muscles on my leg. Now, if that relates into a yoga stretch or something and meditation, people, if I don't do that, I'm in great pain at night. So you got to have a little bit of, I don't even know what you call it. You got to have a little
Grace. I don't know.
Grace, maybe.
Christine wants to know, what does legalistic mean?
Legalistic means that
Can't see the forest through the trees.
it means that the letter of the law is more important than the spirit of the law. And we're supposed to follow the spirit of the law. The Jews in the Old Testament, and we should follow I believe in the Old Testament, and I believe we should follow the 10 Commandments and the laws that were put down. But the thing is, when you're legalistic, you're not going to go to heaven. You're not worshiping God right if you don't do everything exactly right. It leads into works. You've got to do this, and you've got to work at this, and you've got to be careful with this. Jesus died so we didn't have to do that he forgives us. He gives us grace, and we have mercy because of his death. Before that, we didn't have it, and you had to be legalistic. Now, because of his death, we don't have to be that anymore. We have the grace, we have the mercy, we do the best we can. Oh dear, I spent my whole life having a Christmas tree. Does that mean that God doesn't love me? Does that mean that I'm not going to make it into heaven? No, not at all. It's not. Does that mean I have a horrible testimony for everybody? I think my testimony, because I love the Lord so much, speaks way more than whether or not I have a Christmas tree. Did I?
Yep.
Does that, I don't know if that explains, but legalism is where you have to toe the line and do everything exactly
legalism is taking a verse in the Bible that says women should dress like women and saying that women can't wear pants.
Yeah.
That's legalism. Okay.
Jesus condemned it. It's taking rules and making rules more important.
It's taking rules and making that more important than people and their relationship with God. Now, if you feel convicted to wear dresses, that's totally fine.
That's not legalism. That's fine.
But the Bible says that women should look like women and men should look like men. Well, if a woman has pants on, but you can tell it's a woman, there's nothing wrong with that.
I used to have bell bottoms that had big pink roses embroidered on the legs of them. And they were pants, and I looked like a gal. My husband would not have wore those pants, so.
Yeah. How did we get on this?
I don't know how we got on.
Okay, I'm not quite sure what that means. Okay. Let's see.
So a lot of people were asking, what exactly is on your hat?
What exactly is
it's
on
reindeer
my hat?
ears.
I thought it was appropriate for all the deer we have here.
Yeah, it's reindeer. Oh, I told that song, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer? I told the boys, I said, Nan going home Christmas Eve, that could happen here in Wyoming. We've got so many deer. I could get run over by a reindeer on.
So Jonathan says women can wear pants, but they shouldn't vote or drive.
Oh, Jonathan. Here, I was going to send you a little something. You better be on your best behavior, Jonathan.
Jonathan's he's been with us literally like the second live show we did. So he's joking.
He's joking to find out who's too serious in our group.
He's joking to call out all the people.
You guys get a sense of humor. I mean, I feel people are losing their sense of humor. We can't joke or, make laugh about things anymore. It's really sad that you can't.
My goodness, I tell you, I'm going to start selling laxatives. It's going to be our next newest product.
Oh, I got to tell Denise and Joanne, I don't know if you're on there or not. I just found out Sheraton has a store and it's called the Chocolate Tree. Can you guys believe I live in a town and the whole store is called the Chocolate Tree?
We should do a video from there.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, let me say one. Mike put the link in for the planner. We had several people ask about the planner. Let me just show you real quick before we finish. So this is not what the planner looks like at all. But you can go see the link. It's a white cover with pretty flowers on it now.
It's more like this one.
It's this size, okay? It's this size. But it's going to have this lighter weight but very sturdy cover and a heavier duty coil binding on it this year. But it's still the inside. It's still this size. And sorry, guys. I thought I broke my knuckle with a command hook today.
She said, "Can you take over the show tonight? I think I broke my finger."
It's still got the really, really nice, practical daily planner. They're 20% off and they're ordered directly from the printer and you don't need a coupon or anything. Okay. He's just got them marked down, but they're coming straight from the printer and they're going to ship.
They won't be stuck in a port.
They're going to be shipped next week. Hopefully we're going to have it done next week and he'll get me one done. We just literally got this done like 5 days ago. So I don't even have the proof yet, but 20% off, and I think I'm only going to probably sell 500. So if you guys want one, you better grab it. But it's going to be the nice, lighter weight, but still very durable. So if you guys want a planner, we had people begging for planners. I wanted to throw that in there. Maybe you could have the chocolate store sponsor a video. There you go. You know what we need is a whole line of chocolates. We are taking we're not sure yet. We might be taking a class on products and stuff for our YouTube channel and that kind of thing. We could have a whole line of Jill's chocolates. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, you're not going to get anything like chili chocolate. You're not going to get anything like dark chocolate. You're just going to get regular milk chocolate and maybe milk chocolate with almonds. But that's all you're getting. So Mom doesn't like stuff except for Snickers and almond joys.
I like any kind of
Snickers and almond. But I mean like weird stuff.
No, it's just be chocolate and nuts and caramel.
You're not going to have chocolate covered dates.
No.
Chocolate covered
nothing
figs.
Healthy.
I'm getting a bunch of questions about are the planners going to be here in time for 2022?
Are the planners going to be here?
They're not going to be stuck.
The planners are printed in Utah. I will drive myself to Utah if something happens and pick them up myself. They are in Utah and they are being directly shipped from the printer. Okay. Straight from the printer. They're going to start shipping, I think, the end of next week. Okay. So they will be here for 2022. Okay.
This is off before we close. I didn't know if you're getting ready to close or not, but I wanted to mention on the gift things, talking about gifts and buying the gifts. I wrote a post on the website. It's called The Gift. Michael put the link on there. And it's kind of a story, but I think it explains more of what we're trying to explain to everybody on gift buying. And it's not super long or anything, but I thought you guys might enjoy reading it. Some of you in the past, I've mentioned it and I think you've read it, but for the new people here, you might like to read that it talks about, what do you do about gifts, or how do I explain it? It just, the more meaning of gifts and stuff, that type of thing.
Yeah. Oh, you touched a nerve.
What? On what?
Dark chocolate is not weird.
My son-in-law darks chocolate, so it's weird. No.
Yeah.
Actually, I will eat just about anything chocolate. It doesn't matter too much. I prefer, milk chocolate and stuff, but if it's chocolate.
You don't eat dark chocolate.
Well, yeah, if I'm desperate, if I don't have any other kind, I'll eat it.
I have never known you to put a piece of dark chocolate to your mouth.
Have. Yeah, I have.
When I want a date and time.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay, let's see. Is Jill being funnier than normal?
Oh,
I don't
know. I don't know. Am I? Am I usually more quiet?
Oh, Jill has the sweetest face. I wish she was mine, said Christine.
Oh, you know what? Well, thank you, Christine. But the boys were setting up the lights, talking about a face. And Dave said, Nan, we got to fix your face. You're glowing. I said, there's something wrong with that.
Did I get my glasses fixed? No. We're going to Colorado this next week, and I'm going to go back to my old eye doctor and see if she can tell me what's wrong. I'm just about ready to go crazy. I almost fell off the ladder the other day when I painted my fireplace because I couldn't see right. And I was like, oh, this is lovely. Okay, you mentioned chocolate and your face lights up. Yes, it does.
Oh, for
Pat,
sure.
do we have a big Christmas dinner? They used to always make lasagna. Ooh, that sounds good for Christmas dinner.
Does sound good.
Do we have a big Christmas dinner?
No.
We actually don't. Not on Christmas Day with ham and all that kind of stuff. Maybe we should do that this year.
No.
Oh.
What happens is there was usually only the four of us when I was doing it.
No, I want to do Christmas
And I
dinner.
did all the cooking. So here I fixed this big dinner with all the fixings for four of us on Thanksgiving Day. And it was just a few weeks later, I'd have to do another big dinner for Christmas, and I'd have to fix Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve is our thing. It's usually our big Christmas. And then we do hardly anything, not too much on Christmas Day. So when we got sick, it was way too much. So what we do now is we have all kinds of finger foods because we're barely getting over the turkey from Thanksgiving as it is. So we have dips and chips and cheese and crackers, and we do sometimes have a ham or salami summer sausage. Summer sausage.
Summer sausage.
And
if you get a summer sausage for Christmas and you don't want it, you just what's our
she's
P.O. box?
Crazy.
P.O. Box 6837. Sheridan, Wyoming, 82801. And that's a hint.
She does love.
You send me your summer sausage.
And we do have a good summer sausage recipe in the book, the cookbook.
In dining, we have a really good summer
sausage cookbook in there.
Yeah.
But so what we do then, we have all of our favorites. Everybody picks their favorite dishes. And we have like the red salad, which is in the cookbook, where it's a Jell-O salad with red hot candies, and that type of thing. So we have some salads, and we just spread it all out on Christmas Eve, and we open presents and we eat, and we do a little more, and then we eat some more. And then all of that's left over. And the next day, we don't have to do anything, Tara and I don't, on Christmas Day. We can enjoy the kids' toys. We can play games if we want to. We can do whatever we want on Christmas Day. And so we can relax and enjoy the day, a little bit more, not having to cook and do a lot of things.
Barbara Polly says Cadbury milk chocolate is the best. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
We had when we came back from Europe, we had
and it's different from in Europe and
we had
Australia.
A suitcase full of chocolate and those gummy things. And they tagged the jelly babies, and they tagged us at customs because they thought we were bringing in drugs because the jelly babies had all that white powdered coating on them, and they thought we were bringing in drugs because we had a whole suitcase full of chocolate and jelly babies, and it was Cadbury. Oh my goodness, I have never had chocolate like European. It was the best.
It's
so
good.
if you get some and you don't want it, send it my way too. That is totally fine with me, since we'll probably never be able to go to Europe again in our entire lives until we're ever. Do the planners have pages for money and budgeting? So we do. In the front here, we have a whole debt payoff thing right here. We have for your budget, and then we have a whole debt payoff section right here in the planner. So yes, we do. And once again, this is not going to be the cover. It's white with some really pretty flowers this year.
It's similar. It's got flowers like that. It's really pretty,
really
guys.
Pretty
I love
purpley red color this year.
Mm-hmm.
And those are being shipped hopefully next week directly from the printer. directly from the printer.
In Utah.
In Utah. So, we got that. Oh, Belgium chocolate. Oh, Anne. Oh, yeah. You know, we
haven't
need
had
to have
supper. You guys are torturing us.
We need to
here.
have the 25 days of chocolate.
Oh, that would be a great idea.
Have fun.
Bye-bye, my love. Have fun.
And we need to have the 25 P.O. Box 6837 Sheridan, Wyoming.
But she's not hinting at all.
82801.
She's not hinting at all.
Watch me get 50 pounds of chocolate. Summer sausage and chocolate.
Oh, no.
I'm only kidding, guys. Don't do that. It's okay. I can go to Walmart and get me some. Okay, goodbye. I love you.
Drive careful, Dave.
I remember back in the 90s, we had that big ice storm blizzard on Christmas Eve here in Kansas. My granny would make cornflake wreaths and dyed green food coloring on it. It had red hot candies on it to make them look like a Christmas wreath. Oh, that's cute, Stephanie.
That is cute.
Wonder which storm that was. We were in the 90s.
I wonder when in the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, a couple of times we had storms in Kansas, and I couldn't make it to the kids for Christmas or whatever. And that's when I'd have my blue cheese. My favorite thing when I'm by myself. Maybe that's another subject. But anyway, on Christmas Eve, if you're going to be by yourself, don't get depressed. I was going to be by myself for the first time ever in my life on Christmas Eve. And I thought, I'm going to live this up here. I'm going to have all the food I want. You know, I didn't have to cook anything else. And I went and made me a big, huge bowl of blue cheese dip, had the big bag of chips and I sound like an alcoholic, but I had a 2-liter thing of Pepsi. And I sat all evening pigging out, because I never pig out like that. And I just pigged out all night long and I did have some Christmas candy and stuff and cookies that I enjoyed too. And I enjoyed myself. I watched Hallmark movies, Christmas movies, and I just picked out on my favorite stuff. And it was kind of a fun Christmas.
So somebody asked for a red hot Jell-O salad. It's in dining number 1. And I put the link in there from our website. 35% off right now. And when they're freed from their bondage in Seattle, if the shipping issues, we will send them immediately.
That Jell-O, that salad is good because it's bright red and kind of glistening like, and it's easy. There's nothing to it. There's like, 3 ingredients in it or something. And so it's really easy to make, and it's perfect for Christmas. A really pretty color.
Yeah. Sandra wants to know, what's our favorite recipe in the new book? Oh, have mercy. I don't know.
Oh, it's so hard to
pick
because these are all our favorite recipes that we put together.
Okay, so this one is all of our recipes that we really love that are expensive. So like dining on a dime, we didn't really use much cream cheese or much what we would call expensive ingredients.
Like chocolate chips.
Yeah, like a lot of chocolate chips and stuff. But Dining 2 has some more of our more expensive, which they're really not that expensive, actually. But
they're what normal people would
Our
eat.
definition for Dining 1 was it needs to all be homemade. How to make homemade taco seasoning, homemade
mashed
potatoes
and
tortillas, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I was trying to think, oh man, I don't know. There's just tons and tons of them.
Yeah. We just picked out all our very favorite.
Well, your sticky buns are pretty good. So there's Mom's sticky buns. Those are actually pretty darn tootin' good.
That is a good, if you like cinnamon rolls or sticky buns, that was a good, I've tested a lot of cinnamon roll recipes over the years.
Okay, and the cheesecake's pretty good too.
You're picking out all the good healthy stuff, aren't you there?
Well, and the chocolate cheesecake. That one's really good. Holy cow. I need to do that one for a video because it's like really
And don't forget, guys, those of you that have our first book, we have lots of gifts in there. How to make gift baskets, how to make homemade gifts, like toiletries and bath salts and things like that. And children's gifts like the Play-Doh that you can make and sidewalk chalk and things like that.
I got my hat at Walmart like 3 years ago. So yeah. Tell me more about the cheese dip.
Oh,
It's so easy. It's 1 can of Old English, 1 little jar of Old English, and one what do you call it? Not
blue
bar.
cheese or
No.
cream cheese
Block.
block. 8
One-
ounces of
okay.
cream cheese.
1 8-ounce block of cream cheese and 1 Old English jar.
The little glass
And you
jars.
mix it together. Just soften it slightly in the microwave, like 5-10 seconds, and then mix it together really well. It's so good. And now it's even better if you don't have picky eaters and you can add nuts. Or green chilies or anything like that. Garlic. It's really good.
But we do it just with those 2 things because the guys don't like nuts. But pecans, grind up pecans in that. It's really good. Now, that's not my blue cheese dip. That's my son's favorite dip. And the kids' is.
Here's the blue cheese dip. Now, the post is old and it looks awful. So just ignore it.
Ignore the picture.
Let me see if I have another one. I don't have another one. Okay. Blue cheese dip. Here it is. So yeah, Mike may have to update it tomorrow, but okay. So there's the blue cheese tip for YouTube, and here it is. Oops.
But you have to like blue cheese and black olives for this one.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Blue cheese, black olives, cream cheese, slivered almonds, and then a stick of butter. Oh my goodness, no wonder that tastes good. It's got a whole
really good.
It's got a whole stick of butter in it.
Do I have the soap gummies in volume 2? I don't think I put that in here. I can't remember. I think that may be. I actually have them for 3. I have volume 3. I need to just get it.
She
done
has lotion in there
stop.
that you can make, and lip balm and different things.
Nope, I didn't put them in. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it's in the kids section. I'm looking in the wrong. Wait, is that?
What are you looking for?
The kids soap. Did I do that?
I thought you did the kids soap thing.
Okay, I thought I put it in.
Is it in the first one?
Hold on.
Does anybody know that has
cleaning.
cookbooks where we've got so many we can't keep track?
Okay. Am I like losing my mind? Oh, I'm in the wrong section. Here it is. Okay, let's see. Pudding paint, puffy paint, sand dough, chalk, air clay, sidewalk, molding clay, jello slime, homemade snow, bouncy balls. Yes, I knew it was in here. There you go. DIY jelly soap.
Oh, can't really see it. I can see the title, but that's all.
DIY jelly soap. It is on page 404 in Dining 2. I knew it was there. Ugh. The only Old English I've heard of is furniture polish, Debbie says. It's a cheese.
Isn't
Mike,
it usually
go
like,
get it out of the fridge, will you?
Is it kind of like with the Velveeta sometimes? I think.
Yeah, it's in with the Mike.
Where you find the Velveeta. It's on a shelf. It's not back in the refrigerator department. It's in with Velveeta.
Yeah.
Sometimes at Christmas time, they'll have it on an end cap.
Yeah, but it's in by the I just got it, and
we have to make like a double, triple batch of that every year because everybody just inhales it. The kids. It's Kraft cheese.
Oh, Joshua Talks Food. He's gonna make my 2-ingredient fudge. Guys, go check out his channel. We'll watch for that video. Okay. Ooh, this feels good on my finger. Okay, no, Old English is not furniture polish, guys.
Right, it is, but this is
right there. That's what you're looking for.
And you can save the little jars. I don't know if you guys know that, but you can save the little jars and use them for juice glasses.
Okay, no. Dining on a Dime Volume 1 is completely different from Dining on a Dime Volume 2. They are 2 totally different books with completely different recipes, but they go together as a set. If you want to use them independently, you can, or a set if you want. Either way. Okay, I posted the blue cheese dip recipe. Here it is again for all of you guys who missed it. And Denise says she grew up on that cheese in the 70s.
I know. Yeah, I guess that was my recipe, wasn't it? I forgot about that because David's eaten it we had it for our Christmases when Tara was growing up all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so the Blues cheese tip is really, really good. All right. Do you have any questions or comments, Mike, while we're...
Well, Stephanie said, I think it's still illegal to throw snowballs in Kansas, one of our weird laws. I told her I think we've broken that law many, many times.
Figures. Oh my god. Oh, so Mike and I, another Wyoming thing we saw today.
Oh, I have
a question about law.
So we were like, okay, what do you do in this situation? So in Wyoming, do you have to give the right of way to horses on the road?
I don't know. But
when he was going straight and we were turning left, so probably yes.
It was going straight and you were turning left, so yes, I'm like.
He had two horses. He was pulling one horse with the other horse, and he had a dog not on a leash following him.
Well, I found a thing that I love in Wyoming, and I could do this in Kansas too. No, I couldn't because it was too humid in Kansas. I painted my nails before I came over here for the show, and they weren't getting dry. And I thought, how am I supposed to get dressed and get ready and get my makeup on if these nails aren't getting dry before the show? The wind was blowing pretty good today. So I stepped out the back door and I just held my hands up in the air and I stood there for 60 seconds and my nails were all dry. The wind was blowing so hard, it just dried those nails like crazy. So that's a frugal way to do your nails. You don't have to buy one of those fancy machines to dry your nails in Wyoming. See, that's another good thing.
Hallie says, are the gluten-free recipes the same as the other books? So
It started out
gluten-free, dairy-free is this book here, but with all gluten-free recipes. And the reason why I did it that way was because basically I had to the bread recipes are not the same because you have to cook totally different when you're baking gluten-free breads, yeast breads, that kind of thing. So the sandwich bread is strictly gluten-free. It's not anything like this, but let me tell you, this is the best darn tootin' sandwich bread you will ever eat that's gluten-free. My boys, when I make this, I have to hide it because they will eat it before I can get any of it. And you can make it for about $1 instead of spending $5 to $7 at the store. So,
and they'll eat it before the other bread.
Yeah, they'll eat it before the other bread.
You said it's the same, but it does not have. You have to tell them. You should tell them the chapter. It doesn't have like cleaning.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't have the cleaning scents or the pretty for pennies in this one. So it's just the food recipes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Marjorie said, one year I gave my dad little pieces of paper with his favorite baked goods on them in an envelope to be dessert of the month type thing.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
That's pretty nice.
Really good. If you guys have any more ideas like that, post it in the comments for us.
I
Good
put
gift
the
ideas.
2-ingredient fudge recipe in Facebook. I put the link in there for you guys. County Fra. I did high school and college in Laramie. You aren't kidding about the wind, but the summers, yeah. Now here in Sheridan,
it's not bad.
The wind's nothing compared to Cheyenne and Laramie. I don't think.
No,
it doesn't even come close.
Yeah,
that's
Sheridan doesn't exist. Yeah. No, that's one thing. Sheridan is different than the rest of Wyoming as far as the wind. It's not any worse here than in Kansas, I don't think. The thing is, in Kansas, the winds are more humid. That's why.
Yeah. So, Allie, here's the thing. Most of the recipes okay. I put off for like 3 years. I don't know. I can't remember. It was a really long time. Because what I did was I just took volume 1 and adjusted my gluten-free recipes for me. And I'm like, why do people need a special cookbook? And my assistant at the time said, Tara, you really need to make a gluten-free cookbook. People just don't get it. And I was like, but it's just substituting. She said, I know, but they don't get it. So what I did was I put the substitutions in, but then for the baked goods, I went and made sure it was the very, very best recipe because I know how cruddy some gluten-free baking can be.
She tested and tested. We sampled and
sandwich bread. I am not exaggerating. I tested 40 different recipes for the sandwich bread before I came up with one that came out consistently every time and actually tasted good. So That's why I went ahead and did it. So if you want, you can just substitute in here, but you're not going to have the bread recipes, if that makes sense. I think. Does that make sense? What's funny is last year I was finishing this for. I'm leaning. I'm leaning. And we got stuck. This was right when COVID hit, and or that thing going around hit, and I couldn't get ingredients to finish testing the recipes. That was fun. So finally, I went to store after store, and I finally got it. So is the 20th anniversary edition the same as volume 1? Yes. Same book, just in a different format. So just so you know.
You might remind them if they order gluten-free, that order it separately.
Yeah. So gluten-free, we still have about 75 of these in stock. We have more on the way, but I think I have about 75 or so in stock. If you need it now, place a separate order from the other 2 books and we'll ship it for you. Otherwise, they'll all go together. So, oh, Kimmy, hello. Merry Christmas. What do you think? Okay. Jennifer, every Christmas I used to buy my sainted grandmother a beautiful box and filled it with tiny shreds of paper with Jenny Loves Missy handwritten on each of them. Oh, that's nice.
That's cute. Yeah.
That's a cute idea.
Yeah, that's really cute.
Let's see. Okay. So, yeah. Do you have any other questions, Mike, real quick before we go?
No.
All right. So the moral of the story is, guys, get your priorities straight for Christmas, and then you will have a happy Christmas.
Cool. Don't do it emotionally.
Yeah. Don't
stick to your list.
Yeah.
And come up with an amount that you can afford to spend.
Yeah.
And don't worry about what everybody's thinking. Do the best you can with that amount then.
Yeah. All right, guys. 99 Dime cookbooks. All of them are 30% off. And then our planners, which don't look like this, but this is the size they are. We finally found a printer. Thanks to Kimmy. You're the bomb, man. We're using her. So you'll see her planner on there and ours. Get one of each, guys. But it's got this nice, not quite so heavy, but very durable cover. So it won't be quite so heavy. But it's going to be this size, guys. Okay. So it's going to be the big planner. 20% off of those directly from our printer. So they're going to get shipped next week. Pretty good. Like, subscribe, and share. Visit us at livingonadime.com, and we will hopefully see you next week. We will let you know if we don't, because there could be a possibility that we may not be here next week. But just in case, we will see you guys later. And Kimmy's doing a happy dance for our planner. Thank you, Kimmy. We're a little slow on the game this year. livingonadime.com. We'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.